Hello, our scripture today is Luke 1:38. And Mary said, Behold, the handmaid of the Lord, be it unto me according to thy word. And the angel departed from her. Mary finished grinding the flour, mostly because she didn't know what else to do. Her hands shook and her strength sapped. The grindstone felt like an anchor instead of an instrument. She stared at the place where the angel had been. What had just happened? As she stood and grabbed the oil, she stepped on the edge of the bowl full of flour, catapulting a powdery blast onto her feet. Without a thought of the waste, she swept up the dirty flour and noticed footprints where the angel had appeared. Was it real? There was only one way to know. She would go and see Elizabeth. When had they all stopped praying for her to have a child? She couldn't remember. And now, so many years later, the answer had come? If she was 6 months along already, she would need help preparing for the baby. Even young mothers needed help. And Elizabeth? Well, there would be much to do. It was at least a week-long journey to their home in the hill country outside Jerusalem. If she traveled with a large group, it would take longer. But if she left in the morning, she might arrive in time to help Elizabeth prepare for the Sabbath. Mary washed up and went to find a small basket. Spreading it on the floor, she began to pack a few things before her parents arrived home. Her parents would never believe it, at least not until the baby began showing signs. But then, their only reasonable assumption would be adultery, not divine favor. Mary shook her head. And what about Joseph? He was working so hard building the room that they would share after the marriage. He would be devastated. How could she explain? Who would believe that an angel had been standing right here in front of the stove, outshining the fire, and making such an announcement? And what on earth would she say to Elizabeth when she arrived? Hello, Elizabeth. I had a visit from an angel last week. And Zechariah, he was a priest after all. Her hands were sticky with sweat. With every item she packed, she worried about something new. Pressing her fingers into her temples, she shut her eyes, inhaled, and waited for God to calm her. You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you. Isaiah 26:3. She replayed every imaginable detail. The angel was specific. You will conceive a son. You will name him Jesus. He will be called the Son of God. But he was also vague. He didn't tell her what to do next, only what God was going to do. Don't you and I wobble under the same tension? God has given many specific directives, yet sometimes the how-tos are kind of vague. To our great relief, God has given us His Spirit to guide and direct in our individual lives. Dear Lord, thank you for strategically orchestrating every detail of our lives, even the ones that appear to be obstacles. In our confused sowing, help us trust you with the unseen plan. Thanks for listening. See you tomorrow.